Okay. Yes, my Still College family. What's everyone saying? I hope everyone's well. Hope everyone's good. It's your boy, R&BH over here. You know what time it is, man. I'm here with my brother K as per usual. K, what you saying? You good, yeah?
Good, man. What were you, man? How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. K, obviously we're here for a reason. Luckily, we're here.
Yeah.
But the sixth god himself, Mr. Drizzy Drake, Mr. Champagne Papi, had the seventh studio album. Honestly, Nevermind. I mean, K, he just literally released an album less than 12 months ago. You know, which we both thought was not a good album. Probably the worst album in his discography. So less than 12 months later, he's come back with a surprise album. I mean, nobody anticipated this album. You know, I personally was on record saying that I feel like Drake is gonna, you know, not release an album for the next 2 years at least because of the volume of music he's been releasing over the last 5 or 6 years. I actually thought
he's gonna slow down.
Yeah, this year will be that Drizzy, you know, doesn't release any type of project whatsoever, whether it's a mixtape, whether it's an album. I thought that he would take a break, but silly me, I was wrong. You know, and yeah, I'm wrong. And Mr. Six God himself decided to release, honestly, Nevermind. And the title is very befitting to this album because
100%, the irony in it, fam.
It sums up the whole album. Honestly, Nevermind. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, obviously we're gonna get into what we thought about the album. You know, it's gonna be a quick album review. Then obviously I'm gonna pose to you a bigger question later on down. But obviously before we get into it, I'm gonna need everybody to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. You guys know what time it is. Don't need to tell you twice. Subscribe. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So okay, like I mentioned before, this album from Drizzy is his 7th studio album. You know, first being obviously Thank Me Later back in 2010. Yeah, kind of mad how he's only released 7 studio albums. It feels like it's a lot more, but obviously in between that, he's released like various mixtapes and collaborative albums.
Yeah. He's been for an artist that's been in 10 years. He's been overproductive, I would say.
He's definitely been overproductive. Been overproductive, and it's not all for a good reason.
For sure.
But obviously, the album, we were all surprised by it. Like I said, nobody expected it. Literally, he announced it a day before it was about to drop. And yeah, obviously everybody was, you know, a bit curious because I'm not gonna lie, even though, like, you know, the quality of Drake's music has declined since 2016. Obviously, that's a debate that we're gonna have later on. But obviously, in my opinion, Drake's music, or the quality of music that he's been producing has steadily declined over the last 5 or 6 years, innit? Even when Drake announces an album, you're still a bit intrigued, innit? Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I feel because he's popular, innit? Do you get me?
Yeah.
I think it's more the popularity rather than the quality of work. I think.
Yes.
Do you get me? Go on.
Even Drake's biggest skeptics, you know, obviously you being one of them.
I'm 100% in that camp, fam.
Even you can say, do you know what? Let me check that out. Do you know what I mean? Like, even though I probably know where the quality is not really going to be there because, you know, Drake's peaked a long time ago. But yeah, like, let me at least check it out. Do you understand? Obviously, that's the power that Drizzy has. You know, no matter what happens, you're always going to check for his music. So yeah, like, I was intrigued. I can't lie. I was intrigued, and I was even more intrigued when I found out that this was a predominantly dance album. You know, I was like, nah, this can't be. And
I can't. This guy's trolling very much.
Every music genre there is. I mean, dancehall, flipping reggaeton. You know,
what dance are we talking about? EDM. What dance are we talking about?
I'm telling you, EDM's next, fam. I'm telling you, fam. EDM is next, fam. Music, Drake is the United Nations, bro. Like, he
100%, fam. Do you get me? He touches everything, bro.
Yeah, but yeah, like, I can't, like, when I heard that this was a dance album, I just genuinely couldn't believe it, fam. Do you know what I mean? And then obviously I took a listen to it myself, and lo and behold, it was an actual dance album. But Kev, just straight off the rip, man, like, what were your thoughts on this album, fam?
Bro, like, to be honest, yeah, like, I didn't have any of the context that it was a dance album. I think someone said, honestly, Nevermind dropped at midnight. And then I think a day after, I think I was at work and like I was doing this task and I was like, shit, I need something to listen to in the background. So let me listen to this album as well. And also, like, if we were not doing this review, I probably also would not have wanted to listen to this album as well. So I didn't kind of know it was a dance album, and then I was listening through, and then I heard it was a dance album, and then I heard, well, all of it's actually a dance album, except for the last song with 21 Savage, which is like the worst placement you could ever do for a record. It's like, you know, it's like you're trying, it's like you're not committing to the idea. Like you're deciding, oh shit, this might be too dancey for people, but let me give niggas a hardcore track in there so they get off my back a little bit. It's like, yo, commit to the idea. But when I heard it, I was just, you know, I was not surprised that it's gonna be low quality. I was not surprised about that, because for me, Drake is at the streak now. For me, I think since what's it called? I think like you're saying, views where things have just been low and subpar. So I wasn't expecting him not to sort of come and make a dance album that can rival some of the stuff on Floating Points, Caribou, even Robin as well. 2018 produced, you know, beautiful record as well.
Daft Punk.
But Daft Punk, Daft Punk, the 2013, that was their last album as well. But of course, Drake, like some stuff on like Yeezus. I mean, there's more dance artists that I'm so sorry I haven't even mentioned that. If I had my phone up, I would have done some good records. But the most damning thing is, I think Drake has done records on like Views album, the record that Black Coffee produced a song on his album, but then he just took the instrumental and he gave it to Drake to put on this album, the one with Roger Smith. That record is phenomenal.
That was a More Life.
More Life. Sorry, More Life. That record was a phenomenal record. I love that song. Huh?
Phenomenal. It was phenomenal.
Yeah, phenomenal. Beautiful song. I didn't think, I forgot what his name of it was, but amazing song. And obviously,
We Get It Together.
I think
that's We Get It Together. Yeah.
I think that's the name of it as well. And then obviously other stuff like One Dance, which is also a good song where he samples UK funky house. So all of these stuff, he's done better records, but with this one, there's little elements there, like let's say like The Massive has got some elements there. There's another record that's got some interesting elements there, but overall it's very bland and very like mediocre to me. So that's the way I felt listening to the album. What about you?
Bro, it's exactly the same as you. I just feel like this was rushed, man, and I just feel like you're saying, if you're gonna do a dance album, fully commit to it. Don't do it half-heartedly. 100%. You know.
Yeah.
And saying on a group chat, offline, that Drake has, you know, access to the best producers, the best writers.
Yeah, I remember saying that.
He has access to all the best, everything you can possibly have in music, and you still produce quality like this. It makes no sense to me. Do you understand? Yeah. Kevin, I said to you that I don't understand why he released something like this. Like, what was the point? Do you understand?
Like, for me, I think he's trying to pay for that mansion of his, fam. That's my own. Bro, I can't lie, bro. It sounds mad, but bro, a possible court in your own house is very expensive, fam. Do you get me? So I think that's the reason why he's doing this, fam.
But bro, do you know, it's like, bro, like, even like I said, some of the instrumentals, I would say that, you know, the instrumentals were the highlight of this. You know, some of the instrumentals were actually pretty decent. But, you know, I mean, Kev, we were saying offline, that there was one record where he's just talking, like, just repeating words, fam. Do you know what I mean? I can't remember
that's
what
like
it was.
The second song on there, like, Don't Falling Back on Me. I think that's the song where he says, "Don't fall back on me." Yeah. Don't fall back on me.
Oh, what this? And the problem I have with Drake is, from, I think obviously post 2016, innit? Post Views, this guy is just, he doesn't sound hungry. Like, he sounds very comfortable, and it's like a lot of the stuff that he's been producing lately has been just flat out lazy.
Yeah.
Like Kevin, I was listening to Nothing Was the Same over the weekend. Bro, like the hunger, yeah, like that Drake had back in those days, fam, was 100%, yeah, like different to what he has now in it.
100%, fam, 100%. You can hear it in the music.
You can hear it in the music.
Yeah.
You know, back then he was hungry, and you can tell. Do you know what I'm saying? You can tell. And Drake was releasing a lot of quality music back then. A lot of quality music from records on Take Care, from records on Nothing Was the Same, even records
and
on
mixtape as well. Especially Jarvis loved if you reading this to there, because
even What a Time to Be Alive, the collaborative album we had with Future, there was some good records on there.
There was some good records, but I didn't like that. I didn't like that as well. I feel like, for me, I think that's where it actually begins. What a Time to Be Alive. I think that's where the shift begins for me. That's when the shift begins for me. I didn't like that tape as well. But Jumpman is amazing. Jumpman is an amazing song. Amazing song. My God.
Yeah, I feel like the shift happened post Fuse, innit? But obviously we can, More Life 2017. I still think that tape had some
decent
good songs
records
in it.
Yeah,
it has in it. So you can even say post that. But yeah, like this tape, it's very uninspiring. Very
100%.
uninspiring. And I mean, when I heard that Black Coffee was the executive producer on this record, I actually thought, you know what, maybe there may be some great dance records on here, innit? Because me and you both rate Black Coffee. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Black Coffee is good. The interesting thing about Black Coffee is there was album he released, I think, a year or 2 years ago that I thought was okay. It wasn't that great as well. But again, what Black Coffee, the high he's produced as well, especially that record that he did on More Life, I thought, imagine if we get more of that, that will be intense. But I'm looking at track listing right now as well, and then obviously we're talking about loads of producers on one or few songs, So it seemed like this was a huge effort. Like Black Coffee is probably credited for like 2-3 songs, maybe 4 or 5, 4 maybe maximum. But there's so many other producers on this album, so it's really interesting,
But what I'm saying, like, if you're gonna do it, yeah, like I just feel like a lot of the songs, yeah, on this album were very generic. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Obviously, like, if you go on social media, especially on Twitter, yeah, people are saying that obviously this is basically H&M music, H&M Zara.
Yeah, Zara, Forever 21, yeah.
And it feels that way. It just feels like he's any holes. He's just basically, it's rinse and repeat. It's nothing special. Like, it's true. These are the type of songs here that I would hear in Zara.
Man's got to buy a jacket and falling back on me. Bro, but that was fam. Oh man.
Dance album, especially an artist being Drake here, like you're basically the biggest artist in the world, fam. If you're gonna do a dance album, tap into a genre that you've never tapped into, it needs to be, do you know what I mean? It needs to be like the creme de la creme, or it needs to be at least
good, like 6 out of 10.
Yes, exactly. Like
with really good highlights. Yeah.
It can't be generic, fam. It can't be generic. So yeah, for me, man, this is definitely an album that is very forgettable. Like Drake would have been better, yeah, calling this a mixtape. The fact that this is classified, Kevin, as one of his albums, I feel like it's insulting.
No, the thing is, go on.
It's been, mixtapes here, mixtapes that he's called mixtapes in the past that could have classified as albums. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
More Life, yeah, if he would have classified that as an album, I would have been fine because More Life actually has some good quality songs on it. You understand? But to call this year one of your albums, bro, this shouldn't even be a mixtape. Honestly, this shouldn't even be a mixtape, bro. Do you understand? This shouldn't even be a mixtape. This shouldn't be a mixtape, fam. That's how bad this album is. But the fact that he's classified this as one of his, like Drake here, listen, Drake's been in the game 2010. That's when he released his first album, Thank Me Later.
Yeah.
So he's 12 years now, Kevin. And when you deep it, he's released 7 albums in 12 years. Yeah. Considering the volume that Drake, releases year upon year, yeah, I'm surprised that we're just on his 7th album. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm surprised. So Drake doesn't release albums just like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't just release albums. Like, his albums are few and far between, considering the amount of years he's been in the game, innit? Do you understand? So the fact that you're classifying this as one of your albums, bro, actually mad, I'm perplexed, fam. I'm actually perplexed. And I mean, for me, this is a stain. This is definitely a stain on his resume. It's a huge stain on his.
And once it's the legacy film, we question about his legacy.
Bro, it's his legacy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a stain on his legacy. You know, like, bro, I can't, like, even, you know what it is, Kevin, yeah? Even when, because I think CLB is not a great album. I think Scorpion is not a great album. But you know what, yeah? At least from those two albums, I can get at least a couple songs from both of them. No matter what you think of Drake, yeah, no matter if you think he's been releasing mediocre music for the last 5 or 6 years, there's always at least 1 or 2 songs that you're like, you know what? You know what I mean? I can take that. I can put that in my playlist. And I've always had that. But with this album, this is the first Drake album, fam, that I literally can't take any songs from. I can't. And it's not to necessarily say that every song on this tape is bad, yeah, because it's not. There are some
but it's so good. Some songs got good elements to them.
Elements to it, but it's just uninspiring, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. It's one of those ones that it's gonna get lost, And for us to say that about Drake album, that's kind of mad. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even Drake's biggest stands, yeah. I've seen it a lot, like on social media. Even some of Drake's biggest stands, fam, are saying, "Yo, this album's not it, bro."
Yeah, but there's some that's still holding firm, though. Do you get me? Holding firm to that pillar. Do you get me? For more than almost coming to what? Was 5 or 6, 7 years plus, but they still hold on to that pillar, bro. They're like, Drake has still got it, man. He still got it, man. He still got it, bro. Bro, my soul cracks fucking, bro, years ago, fam. It's interesting. No, it's interesting what you're saying about his album release, and 100% it would have been noted as a mixtape. But with Drake, this album 100% would have been noted as a mixtape, fam. But it's a very thin. Drake is very good between making an album sound like a mixtape or a mixtape sound. Actually, no, an album sound like a mixtape, and he's done that quite a lot. Even with Dark Lane demo tapes, he came out that as a mixtape, but he could have also come that as an album as well. With Drake, to be honest, I don't know what his motivation was for this to call an album. I don't know what it was. To be honest, it doesn't necessarily matter with him because everything will sell. If it's a mixtape or not a mixtape, album or not an album, it still sell because it's Drake.
Even I got to ask him what is his, not even motivation, yeah, but what was the reason? Like, what?
I don't. Can I put this out? I don't think he cares like that. I don't think he actually cares like that anymore.
Because if he did care, he wouldn't release this. Especially after. I'm saying that because you just released an album less than 12 months ago.
Yeah.
Do you understand? You just released an album less than 12 months ago. So it's like, what is the need? Do you get what I'm saying? But like you're saying, Kevin, he just doesn't care anymore. And I deeped it. After Views, yeah, I realized, yeah, that Drake just doesn't care anymore. He just doesn't care anymore. He doesn't care to make a classic. He doesn't even care to make a good album. Do you understand? Because deep it as well. CLB, yeah, that album was delayed for like 2 years, fam. So he had 2 years to work on it.
Oh yeah, because the pandemic, isn't it?
Yeah. So even with Kevin, I'm a fool for thinking this. But remember, I said to you, bro, the fact that Drake is taking his time.
You're an optimistic fan, bro. I was like, bro, when I heard that, I was like, you know what? Yeah, maybe, but fam, you're being very optimistic, bro. Fam. You're being very optimistic, fam.
I've said it many times, but Drake used to be my favorite artist, fam. Do you understand? So this was post 2008/2013 Henry Stan talking. Henry Drake Stan talking.
When it was actually releasing really quality stuff as well. Yeah. Like albums, not just singles, but albums.
Because he had 2 years to work on CLB, I thought, you know what? And I remember, Kevin, he released a single that me and you both liked. Laugh Now, Cry Later?
That song is hard. The one with Lil Durk. Yeah, that song is a banger. That song is a banger, man. That song is a banger. And on CLB, he released Too Sexy, which I love that record, innit, fam? You might hate it, but I love it. I can't. I think that record is a banger, bro. Banger. It's basically perfect Drake, bro. Perfect Drake encapsulated ways in his career. But anyway, go on.
I didn't like that song, but obviously, it should have owned it. But it's like, yeah. So I thought, you know what, this nigga has 2 years to work on CLB. Like, this is actually gonna be. I don't think it'll be a classic in it, but I thought it would be a good Drake album in it. But
better than what we had in the last couple of years. Yeah,
bro, when it came out, obviously we did a review to it on our channel, fam. The album was trash, fam. The album was trash.
That one and Donda, like the two worst albums, which is quite interesting because Kanye has also been on the same low trajectory as well on his own personal release, but for either collab or for other people, he's still produced some of his best work out, which is quite interesting. Yeah,
exactly. But Drake, yeah, he's just, man. I mean, and this is what obviously I wanna sort of pivot towards now, innit? And obviously, Kevin, you know, like I said before, in my opinion, Drake has been on a steady decline. Not commercially.
Commercially, he's gone up. He's gone up.
Because he, in that sense, yeah, in terms of like his sales and his popularity, he's as big as ever. Do you know what I mean? He's as big as ever. But I want to talk about the quality.
Yeah, quality's gone down.
Yeah. In my humble opinion, since Views, it's gone down. And not just down, but it's gone down by a considerable amount. Do you understand? So I'm saying, that's at least 5 or 6 years that Drake has not been releasing his best music. Yeah. Do you see what I'm saying? So, I mean, I want to pose this question to you, yeah? Where does Drake go from here, fam?
Go on. Where do you go from?
Yeah, where does he go from here? Because like, I personally feel like, it's gonna come a point where we are like the masses, and I'm already sick and tired of Drake, innit? And I know you are as well.
I was tired a long time ago, innit? The only reason I'm doing this is because it's a review, fam.
But Kevin, I'm seeing that fam, especially after this release as well. Like even the strongest Drake fans, I know you said there's some out there that are holding on to it, and it's true. But there's a lot as well of Drake fans that are saying, nah, bruv, like Drake, no, this is like what 4 projects in a row that have been absolute trash. Do you understand? Yeah. So even they are starting to break, fam. They will start to break in it. Do you understand? Yeah. And obviously they will break, fam. Drake really doesn't. Obviously he'll still sell in it.
But no, I think his numbers will have to go. His numbers would have to start going down for sure. Yeah, man. I think his numbers will have to start going down for sure.
You know what it is, like I read that obviously just in terms of Drake's first week sales for this album, it's gonna be his lowest in his career, fam. I think he's expected to sell. Obviously, there's a lot of factors, there's a lot of factors that are gonna sort of that are gonna determine that number. Obviously, it being a surprise album, there was no real promotion.
And also the genre, the type of music as well. So it's understandable for why it will go so low. So that's why I don't play much into the numbers being that low for this album. But I do agree with you in terms of like, this is basically a shot at him. And like he's definitely taking an L for this in comparison to like CLB and previous album. I do agree with you because like I'm also seeing that sort of, obviously Twitter is not a total reflection of everyone and what everyone thinks, but there feels like there's a tide turning to where it's do you get me? Because even the hardcore stands are like,
Because when you look at Drake's discography now, the reality is, Kevin, there are more bad albums than good.
100%.
The bad albums are now seriously outweighing the good albums. Do you understand? Like, so it's like he's now in danger, of, again, you're right, his sales will inevitably go down, innit? But just in terms of, the quality of music, it's gonna come a point where, like I said, the strongest of Drake stands can't even argue or even make a case for Drake anymore. Yeah. Do you understand? They can't make a case because that's 4 bad projects in a row now. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah. And more of them are probably on the way because I don't see, because again, bro, Drake, he's past that point where he cares. He cares to make a classic or he cares to make a quality album. I've deeped it. He doesn't care, fam. So this is not going to be an anomaly, fam. This trend is going to continue happening. So Kev, it begs the question, like, bro, like,
where does it go from there?
Yeah.
I think for me, it's going to continue until the wheels fall off. I think because that's the only right trajectory for him to sort of to take. Like he is, I think it was Views when it all started, especially that one dance album where he's taken every sort of, was it negative thing or let's say we making fun of Drake or what we think of Drake and then sort of pushing that forward and then playing on that. Do you get me? And he's plays on that on his music and on his music videos. I think, for example, Too Sexy is a great example of him playing on himself. Do you get me? And pushing himself more out as a character.
Hotline Bling was that as well.
Hotline Bling. I think it was no, sorry, it's not One Dance. It's Hotline Bling. It's Hotline Bling. Oh yeah, no, sorry, it's Hotline Bling. Yeah. Sorry, I confused the two. It's Hotline Bling where he essentially pushes out Drake or Drake the character. So I think that's what he's gonna continue to sort of to do because of how commercially successful it is, and also. Like, you don't have to spend hours and your excessive amount of time obsessing about production and lyrics and all of the rest of it, when you can just spend as little as time and still get huge financial reward to it. And for him, he's also quite a financially driven person as well. So it will make sense for him to continue this trajectory until it bears no fruit in it. So he got, for me, I think he got a couple of few albums there. Can you do this? I can't lie, man. I feel like he's going to do this for at least 2, 3, 4 albums. He can go quiet for the next 2 years. And then he's going to do it again for the next 2, 3 ones, fam. Do you get me? I think that's what's going to happen.
It's going to come a point where people are going to stop checking for him. Even, like I said, you know, the Drake stands or you know, maybe the Drake stands will never stop checking for him. That's why they call stands in it. But like a lot of hip-hop are going to stop checking for Drake because, again, when Drake, no matter what you think of Drake, anytime his name comes up here, or anytime, you know, he announces that he's going to release an album, people are saying, right, new Drake, people are scrambling for it. But I see that, like I'm starting to see it sort of die down now, innit? Do you know what I mean? Whereas, like, like a lot of people now are not going to get aside for a new Drake project. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I feel like his standing in hip hop is definitely going to take a hit, or it's beginning to take a massive hit in it, because there's only so much you can take, fam. I mean, bro, we give Kanye a pass, but the only reason why we give Kanye a pass is because of what he's produced before.
Was it like the 10? Was it like 10 glorious years of absolute domination,
bro? Fam, do you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like we're talking, we're talking classic upon classic upon classic.
Yeah, you get me? It was a man who was trying to outdo himself. He was trying to push himself to the maximum ability.
Run, is a run that has rarely been seen in hip hop before.
You get me? It was glorious.
Like, the dynasty in himself, fam. He was an absolute dynasty. Like, for an artist to release classic album after classic album, fam.
Yeah.
Like,
and it was such a short time frame as well.
A short time frame as well. So that's why, Kevin, like, obviously we're not happy that like recently Kanye's been releasing absolute trash here, but we can sort of give him a pass because of what he's done before.
Because he's burned out, basically. Do you get me? He needs to just,
burn out. But Drake, we can't give him, me and you can't give him that sort of pass. Yeah. He doesn't have the credit like Kanye has with us. Do you understand? So it's, bro, you know, it's mad. And I just feel like, you're right, Kevin. Drake's not really gonna stop doing this because it's past the point where he cares now, innit? Just in terms of releasing like a quality album. He's long past that, fam. So, you know, he's just happy to just put out, you know, like any mediocre, average, whatever you want to call it, album, and let it do its numbers. And honestly, he sleeps well at night. Obviously,
bro, he's got basketball court in his own house, bro.
Basketball court. And it begs the question, the motivation, like I said, is gone. It's 100%. Gone, you know. You know, and I realized, that it was after, because remember, I said to you, that, you know, I was waiting for Drake to release like a bona fide, like a universal classic. Obviously, we can argue if Take Care is a classic. We can argue if, if Nothing Was the Same was a classic. Obviously, people always turn to Take Care as being his magnum opus, innit? Do you understand? Obviously, that's up for debate, innit? But
you want a universal, like everyone recognize this is like a movie that's firm. This is all like Good Kid, Mad City. Do you get me? Or like Ill Mike, or like fucking
I feel like that Drake's time to do that was just after If You're Reading This Was Too Late. That's when I thought he was actually going to do it. I actually thought Views was going to be his classic in it, but obviously it didn't happen. And obviously after that, I came to the conclusion that it's never going to happen. And obviously that's when Drake peaked for me. He peaked during that time, innit? And lo and behold, you know, that theory was proven right, you know. But honestly, bro, like, you know, this album is definitely going to get lost in the sauce, man. I don't even know what to score it, fam. Like, to be honest with you, Kev, just before we wrap up, do you think this album is better than CLB?
That's a good question. I don't know. I would like to say no, but then CLB is so poor. Like, it's both of them are so poor to me that I don't care. Do you get me? Don't care to even give a score or a rating. But I would say with CLB, I like Too Sexy. I thought that was a good song. So maybe I'll give CLB a bit more. And I'm a massive fan of dance music. I love dance music. Dance music is amazing. There needs to be more of it. But for me, this is not a way to do it. So maybe I should give this a harsher score, fam. Maybe, yeah, I'll give this one a harsher score anyway. You get me?
Same here. Same here. And for me to rate this over CLB is actually mad, fam, because I just thought CLB was absolute trash. And I mean, but that just goes to show you how much of a decline Drake has taken. But yeah, I'll rate CLB above this. I don't even remember what I gave CLB. I think I gave it like a 4 out of 10. I'll give this like a 3 out of 10.
Oh, okay.
I'll give this a 3 out of 10. It's not a good album whatsoever. Yeah, Kevin. So, just in terms of a score, what would you give this?
Like you, the same score that you give it. I think it's a 3, man. It's just it's whatever, really, man. I feel like for people who are into dance music, look out for more and just be blown away by the quality and the myriads of sounds and lyrics as well that can be put into a dance record. So I'll give it a 3.
I heard that. Okay, all right. Just before we wrap up, I heard something. I saw a tweet saying that Drake is not done yet this year. Apparently,
really?
It's gonna release Scary Hours 3. Which is obviously
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, which is obviously the sort of sequel to Scary Hours 2, the sort of EP/mixtape that he released back in, I think, 2019 or 2020. I can't remember when it was.
Bro, no one is asking for a fucking part 3 for that, bro. No one wants a trilogy for that, fam.
This is what I'm saying. This is why I just don't know, kid. I just don't know, bro. Like I just don't know. Like, why? Like, that's the question that I ask. Why? What's the need, bro? Do you know what I mean? Like, Drake is literally acting like one of those. Do you know what I mean? You know those like underground rappers that are like looking for the come up in it, like this releasing bare music. I just don't get it. But obviously Drake can do whatever the F he wants in it. But I just don't understand. It's like Drake is releasing these projects here in such a quick turnaround, like he has something to prove, and he has nothing to prove.
Well, as if his life is about to end. Did you give me a sign like that? Did you give me?
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, it's no sense. But yeah, man. Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, obviously that was our quick review/reaction to Drake's new album, 7th studio album. Obviously we want to know what you guys think. Did you hate the album? Did you like the album? Obviously tell us, the reasons why you hated it. Tell us the reasons why you love it. Obviously, like you've sort of seen in this review, me and Kevin didn't really think too much of it, but obviously maybe, we're not, hearing something that
you might not hear. Yeah. Imagine, bro. But yeah.
But obviously every type of opinion is welcome on this channel. Obviously, don't grab all that good stuff. You know what to do already. And yeah, me and Kevin will be back real soon with another video, so stay locked in. Until then,